Hello and welcome to the North American part of the show, ECS. We're back. We had a few days off. Lots of Counter-Strike was played. Lots of RSI was created, but we returned. Dan and James, we are back for 4 North American matches. How are you, Dan?
Pretty good. Pretty good. It's really, I mean, it's always, all right, yeah, no wide shot. I like the wide shot. It's a shame. But yeah, we have a lot of awesome games coming today. It's been a couple of days off of Counter-Strike, but we've played some Counter-Strike, which is always nice. It's a nice change. You always find a way. I don't often find a way, but you always do. And you always, you know, destroy all of this. So that's great. But now we get to have a break to watch some. So also, not only that, we are getting to the last, well, this is the last days of ECS Season 6 on the online phase, and we're going to find out very shortly all the teams. We're going to lock them all in to the grand finals in Arlington, Texas. So that's pretty exciting.
It is indeed. I know some people are going to go down towards the venue, see how things are going soon enough. Not me, though. I'm going to try and find some sharks in French Polynesia soon. Enough about us. Let's go and look at the table and see the standings, how things are shaping up at the moment. Space Station will be in action. They cannot escape the relegation period for the time being. There was an interview that Freya did with Davey, actually, which is on the YouTube, so check that out. He is the in-game leader of Space Station. That's why he was added to the team. They were looking for an IGL. Complexity, of course, have many games to play, and they'll be playing 4 of their last 10 matches today. So with only 2 losses so far, we really don't know where they will end up on the table. NRG should be good for LAN. Renegades, I think they're good for LAN now, if I remember correctly. I think they've qualified. Don't quote me on that, though. Let's see. Well, as mainly Complexity, we can look at the matches and see who they're playing, who their opponents will be today, how hard it will be to climb the table. Cash and Nuke versus Space Station. Don't know what to expect. I know Davey said they've only really practiced 1 map so far. It's so early for the team, which is not surprising. You've got to start somewhere, so that's perfectly fine. But it's a good opportunity for Complexity to take away 2 Ws as they try to move up the table. And then E United, who just beat Navi in Chicago, I believe.
Best of 1.
FNS going from strength to strength. I was a deathmatch for FNS earlier.
16-6 though, it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's a dominating scoreline. It's sending a statement, man like FNS.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it was Dazzle that had a really Dazzle and Moose who had really cool performances, or really good performances. It's not really, can't really say it did a cool performance. They looked really cool, but it was a very good performance.
Yeah, just move on swiftly.
Fragging out of their minds, and it's really cool to see because we have had this period where we've been watching them, and you never really looked at that team as saying, oh, these individuals are a massive standout. Like maybe you would see Space Station and think, okay, well, Infinite, that guy is obviously very, very good. But United is all about the team play. That's what we always looked at when we were watching their games and thought that this is pretty admirable. They're doing a really good job as a unit, and we were afraid, very afraid, I think, when FNS came in, that he was sort of that was, you know, they had a thing that was working, and that would just needlessly sort of break things. Yeah,
but from the inside perspective, they decided that they needed a new in-game leader. Maybe it's similar to North, but on a lower scale, where whatever we're doing at the moment is not working. Perhaps they were only getting so much success and they wanted so much more. But in the few matches that we saw from FNS, he was fragging well. So it's just a kind of a wait and see job. But they're still not playing with Cooper, right? Who they picked up. Relics is still on the team for the moment, and he was playing in that because there was some rumors that maybe he would be taken out of the team with Cooper coming in. So I'm pretty sure they announced signing of Cooper, but he's yet to play a game for them. And now if they do well at LAN, maybe it's one of those things where Relics is like, oh, I might be going out the door. Doesn't care anymore. Has a lights up performance. I don't know. Didn't see the match, but that's a real weird one because if they just continue, if they have success with their current roster, I'm sure they'll swap him in anyway. But then if you start, you know, whatever success they have now before they make that change, will be short term. So they, in the short term, if they do bad with Cooper, they may feel like, oh, let's go back to Relics. You know, it might just mess things up. This kind of weird situation in limbo.
It's hard to know. As you say, there's always that. I mean, I think we had the best example. I think it was Adren. Back when he was on Team Liquid, you know, a long time ago, before Team Liquid were as good and consistent as they are now. And he was sort of that, I mean, he was one of the biggest brands actually at the time, especially in North American esports, but he had loads of disappointing performances on LAN. I think it was Cologne, I think the Cologne major, I believe, where he knew that he was going to be kicked from the team, but he had to play because of the roster lock, and he actually just beasted had like the best event he's ever had in his life. So
Yeah.
so that was really fun to see. So I don't know if it'll be like that. Relics, though, he is very experienced in comparison to Cooper. I think he's got more top tier experience. So it'll be interesting to see how that transition works. But I'm definitely keeping my eyes on them, because right now, if anything is being clear to us, is that a lot of these sort of up and coming teams that are sort of just nipping at the heels of the tier 1 teams, these teams are able to get into these Div 1 type situations. They all have a lot of promise, and it wasn't like that in the past. It used to be a very clear separation.
Yeah, it's I love where North American Counter-Strike is at the moment. I don't think it's ever been in a better situation in CS:GO, and I can't wait to see just like what next year will bring. It's constantly developing. We're just seeing more and more teams rising, more fresh talent coming through as well, younger and younger, which is crazy. The age of some of these players, some aren't even old enough to attend a lot of lands and are having to wait things out or deal with school at the same time, like people like Wops, for example. I think Ziwu is another example of that over in Europe. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy out there. If you are in North America, I hope you voted today. Everyone, it's the big, is it called midterm?
Yeah.
Midterm elections? Yeah. So make sure you vote. I don't know when it finishes, but get out there and get your vote in.
Do it because I can't do it.
Do it because Dan can't. Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't vote
to vote for me.
Vote
you can vote whatever you want. Just it's fine. It's fine.
Just in your head, it's for Dan.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Where's
absolutely.
this match at? What's going on? How much time do we have to talk about stuff? Okay, the game is live. We're about to go into it. So it is catch, I believe, is the first map. Didn't really break down the maps too much, but in fairness, there isn't so much breaking down to be done with Space Station because they're a very young team. I think they've got some, speaking of young, I think they've got 16 or 17-year-olds. I think Snakes is like 17 years old and Grim is very young as well, maybe 16. That might be the other way around, but I'm pretty sure they're both barely legal. Space Station will be starting on the T side. As we can see, there's a quick start towards the A bomb site. Once again, Davey is the in-game leader for the squad, and he will be the grenade man in this round.
Yeah, so having players in the right position, that's a great start from Ye. Yeah, he's been very clutch with Complexity. They have a 6-2 rating so far, looking to close out the 8-2, and it's looking pretty good here for Space Station as they move into the bomb site. They get the plant secured, 3 versus 3. Shazam jumping up and down, somehow still alive though, as he waits for his teammates to come and help him out. This forward position is quite useful because Shazam great with pistols, but just not the health to work the situation as Snakes is remaining. Pushing out a quad, they all line up. This is an opportunity now for Snakes. 1 versus 1. Taps the bomb, and that's not going to be good enough from Stan. Snakes clutches it down, and that's the 1-0 for Space Station.
Oh, that's a knife I bought this week. Very nice, very nice. It's the start Space Station needed. I don't know what map it was. I don't know if he mentioned which map they had been practicing. I know he said that there was just one, Davey, but I don't know if it was Cash.
Amazon apples. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And of course, we are dishing out an enormous amount of FACEIT points
Enormous.
in these last 3 days. So make sure that you connect your accounts, your YouTube accounts, your FACEIT accounts, and watch the stream, and you can win massive amounts of points.
Massive.
So
50k boot. Awesome. Pistol round continues for Complexity. I'm loving the P2000 at the moment. It feels a little more aggressive, you know.
Speaking of which, Stan's going to spot everyone. Won't matter too much though.
I like that he doesn't take the engagement there, because it suggests almost that, you know, he wants to fight on their terms. So maybe it's a stack towards the B bomb site. I think is the idea there, but obviously he's doomed if he takes that fight as well. Which is a good lesson for people at home, is that you don't have to take a fight necessarily because someone's in front of you. Sometimes information is key.
So right now we have Complexity in a position where they can actually qualify for LAN because their record's so good. They've got the most games left to play though. But they have been one of the teams that's really converted. In fact, Complexity, I believe they released a new sort of frag movie recently. And I'm wondering if, I actually haven't seen it yet, so I'm not sure exactly the nature of it. If it's like a kind of half docu type thing as well.
I think they're releasing it on the 12th. Because some of their tweets said 12th. And I didn't see a link, but I did see like a video on Twitter, which I'm guessing was a preview. So I think maybe it's next week, next Monday, and it's just doing some hype stuff. Well, the rifles are out for complexity. Let's see what they choose to do. No aggression. Oh, no, that's not true. Def is in A main. Going for a close smoke, although they will hear the deployment, but not much I'll be able to do with it.
Ooh.
Odorous. His leg is showing.
Still alive somehow.
5 HP can go a long way. There's no HEs at this point for complexity. Mr. Stafford. I feel like that's a very English name. Don't know how common it is in Canada. Well, 5 versus 4 for Space Station. At the minute mark, they start to move into mid.
So there's some info for complexity down a man. Always want to see if you can get some information in that spot, and they'll get A main. And even if it is an A push, at least you've taken away that position, which really exposes the T's if they want to try to retake it or if they plant open and so on. But here comes a big push from Def. He's going to get taken down straight away by Infinite. And nice team play coming in from Space Station. Good coordination taking the bomb side. Again, one of the redeeming factors is that Ye has this position in A main, but he can't win the fights. If he was able to win 1 or 2 fights, then maybe there'd be a chance. But good round from Space Station, all things considered, and they'll keep 5 alive here and force complexity to go and save.
Again, I still think that the economy is worse for CT to lose a pistol. I feel like they're going to lose the buy round more often when they buy in round 3 than when they bought in round 4. That said, they'll have an extra $1,000 in round 4 if they were to buy round 4, because they start 500 ahead on the loss bonus. So I suppose there's a greater comparison to be made later on with the current economy buying round 3 versus buying round 4. But here we go. Even though you can buy a round earlier, there are still other advantages to be had, because with the rising loss bonus, you have better buys sooner. So there's different paths to take. And it will be the path of the pistol for this round. Android with the M4A4. One of the guys we don't talk about so much on this team at the moment, but he had quite a focus for a while, but maybe had the wrong rosters to really shine, and now is slightly forgotten.
So the push here on A main, good control of the map. It allows complexity to rotate people elsewhere, and if they do that, it means that Ye can't go further. If his teammates are rotating so much, you need to really lock this position down. And Deagle is going to be very strong there, but he might need to make multiple kills happen because he might have a trade set up from the Space Station players. We'll have to see if they have the detail for that. They're going to be pushing in. This is a big moment for Ye. There's one, and he holds it. Got to be careful. Second player, second frag. A third one oncoming now as Odorous tries to peek the angle. More bullets left in the Deagle. Ye has absolutely nailed it. 4 versus 2 for complexity as they rotate back around, but it's still doable for Space Station.
Davey gets his bell rung. They're definitely going to go for this complexity. 2 versus 4. Got a rotation from Shazam towards main. Davey protecting the guns for the time being, but once they realize he's here, maybe the rest of them can try to swarm. There's Shazam quickly picking up a weapon, but he can't shoot Davey with a better angle. There we go. 1v1 for Snakes. And now Davey's got 29 HP versus 2. Is there an angle for the bomb? I don't think there is. Oh, and I haven't really considered this position. The sound cues have given everything away. Davey gets 1v1. He doesn't get a kill. 12 HP for him now. Is there time to defuse the bomb, however? Ooh.
Oh,
I think he's just about got it. Ever so slightly. Ooh, nice.
What a play from Ye. That Deagle. Making sure he needs to use 1 bullet at a time as well. Meant he had just enough left for that last kill. Almost going down to that greedy attempt at picking up the AK. Oh, nice snap from Def. And complexity, like this year, we've had both complexity and NRG sort of rise up to say, you know what, we're top NA teams as well. To join the ranks of, you know, Cloud9 and Team Liquid and MIBR. We've got a lot of really promising teams in this region at this point. Oh, that is beautiful from Snakes. The run boost, teasing out the peak from Def, closing it down, and that's an early advantage. This would be a rough one to lose with Complexity after winning the previous round with just one player. Although it was a save, but still.
This kind of situation's got to be very pick-based, very off the fly for Space Station with where things are at present. Davey did say that these young players are very keen to learn, but obviously they'll have limited experience in scenarios such as this, which can be difficult to deal with. Moving into the B bomb site now, although the bomb is slacking slightly. Davey carrying the bomb with a teammate in tow. Infinite picked off, bomb planted for Checkers. Now there's a fair chunk of utility here for Complexity. No smoke, which would have helped, but they have a Molotov and a bunch of HEs. Grim cutting off the headshot position. Smoke from the outside. That's going to be a pain in the bum. And maybe that is enough. Let's see. And go through the smoke. The flashbang's perfect for him. No second kill though. Becoming very expensive for Complexity, but they will win the round. And that's what counts at the end of the day. 2 AWP surviving. Yay with the kit will defuse the bomb. Round number 2 for Complexity.
Very nice save in the end. Will prevent themselves from being reset and build on that economy that's, well, after winning around pistols, has definitely been growing very nicely. Space Station will have to get back to basics, but I've been enjoying some of the coordination we're seeing from them. You can see that they do have a clear plan. They are really trying to play with the structure, and you can see that there are protocols as well. It's definitely does feel like an improved team based on the first iteration we saw this league. I would say it feels like an actual team, whereas before it felt like sort of a pug team, which is a really good sign. Excited to see what they can do. Perhaps we'll get a similar storyline to E United with Space Station. But they'll just play this one slowly, looking to see what they can do. Expend their opponent's utility, maybe pick up a Deagle frag or two. That's not a bad find onto Ye, giving him a taste of his own medicine.
Briefly saw the shadow above his head there. Nightmare scenario. Halloween has come and gone though. And more ghouly chickens in Counter-Strike. Space Station really trying to thin out the utility. Maybe catch another player off guard. These P250s can be dangerous. One smoke for Davey. You can see the glass has been broken already. Slowing it right down. Got some sound cues as well. That will give them an idea of where the CTs might be playing from. Although they've completely abandoned the B bomb site. This is very bizarre. Not a single player in there. Maybe wanting to play a retake situation and avoid the swarm, they will concede a bomb plant. They've got a smoke on Stanislav, or Stanislaw. Will it land in time? Not quickly enough to stop the plant from happening. There's a molly in the back of the site. There's the retake smoke being deployed. They've got 2 flashes, one over the top. I'm sure somebody will peek under heaven on the low ground. There's a first flash, and it's Def actually going in first with AWP. Shazam to trade. Now he's alone, really wants that rifle. That smoke is still up, but it's not going to last very long. And I don't imagine he's going to do this. He's got to draw 2 players out. Time to pick up the AWP and run. He's not going to survive. Nobody will. But that's well to Space Station's advantage. I find it interesting that no one was even holding just an angle peeking from B. They just had a hard read of A. So at least you could play it from tree and just shoot people. They just walked away.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. You'd imagine that it's not really worth going for a hard read, if you know, because it wasn't as though they were down a lot of players or something. It was a 4 versus 5. But that's how they played it, and they've suffered the consequences. It's hard to ask for another 3D round from the likes of Ye, so want to see if they can find some other way to do damage at the very least. Nice position from Stan, actually, in Sunroom there. Oh, well, okay, Android's got himself a Deagle kill. Android, another young upcoming player. He's got quite some experience at this point, but his aim, his mechanics, definitely very good. The load just got lighter thanks to that orb shot from Odorous. And so we're just sort of working out exactly where all these CTs are. Looks like they've... Well, they haven't actually made a choice at all. They're still very spread out. Stan could find the bomb here. Oh, Stan's got the bomb and potentially an AK. Just going to fall back. What do they do with this bomb here? Do they rotate it back to A? How do they play this?
I think at this point they should just go somewhere together. The final players try and dispose of a weapon if there is one down. 37 seconds left. They're pretty much compelled to go to the B bomb site. AWP will be dropped for the time being. Need the versatility of the AK-47. Now they've got, well, Davey's got most of the grenades. So smoke towards CT. Does he smoke the site? 20 seconds left. Someone's in checkers. They are doomed, surely. See if they invest in somebody picking that. Stanislaw hiding in the smoke for the time being. Oh, they check this. They don't see him at all. 9 seconds. He's going to win a round. Oh, is there time? Oh, he's going to let the bomb go down. Oh, God.
So close, wasn't it? So close. I do wonder if in some spots you just go for that bomber, but either way, his teammates could still maybe, just maybe, do something with this. 2 Deagles. Not the easiest when you have to attack a position, but Android actually makes it work. There is a Molotov for the bomb, though. That's surely going to seal the deal. Oh my god. 3 Deags from Android this time. In fact,
what is
the Molotov, it missed completely, I think. He's actually going to do it. I can't believe this. 2 rounds with just a handful of Deagles. Complexity make it work. Very strange. And very triggering, I'm sure, for Space Station.
I think that the longer these rounds go on for, the more difficult they may be for Space Station in their current iteration.
Ooh.
So perhaps keep it simple. There's only so much you could do about those, and timing certainly comes into it as well.
Yeah.
But maybe just play a faster round with some Molotovs.
That is a really good example, isn't it, of when you play that slow round, what the CTs have available to them. They can stand reposition like 3 times. You know, Android as well was able to reposition many times, taking shots from many different locations. So really, really beneficial for that CT defense. Okay, someone was having some freezing problems.
I called my Krieg Freddy Krieger. I gotta say, I'm outdoing myself, man. The names of some of my weapons are unbelievable. I'm really beasting it at the moment.
And I called my butterfly knife Kidney Thief, which is also just as excellent. Especially if you know the Candy Mountain skit on YouTube. Candy Mountain. You seen that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I remember now, yeah. It's like a really reluctant... Are they animals?
Charlie!
Like one's a horse. Oh, yeah, Charlie's a horse, right? And he's like very reluctant, really annoyed.
Yeah.
All the time.
It's a pretty good sketch.
That is really old, actually. Old but gold. It's not as old as Weeble and Bob, though.
Who?
Weeble and Bob.
Don't know Weeble and Bob.
How do you not know Weeble and Bob? It's like one of the original sort of Flash animations that went pretty viral. Wow. You must have been on Black Albino Sheep. You must have been.
No.
Oh my god. That had all the kind of old school Flash animations, and that was, you know, Meme Central back in the old days.
The only thing I was a bit of Strong Bad.
Strong Bad was pretty cool. That was the only thing I really liked from Homestar Runner, actually.
In those days. But I was on weird parts of the internet and script kiddie groups and listening to weird songs like Zofar Has Man Boobs.
What?
If anyone knows the Zofar Has a Man Boob song, send me a tweet.
That is weird.
So far, it is weird. Zofar has man boobs.
So
Shazam is restarting his Counter-Strike.
This is a weird game so far. I feel like Space Station have played pretty well in the gun rounds, but in the anti-ecos, they're playing them way too passively. They're way too spread out, and they're not sort of committal enough.
Dan, do you know what the side effect of cannabis becoming legal in America and more places is?
What is that?
Loads of people are playing Counter-Strike high out of their minds, like super high. I played a game of matchmaking just because I didn't have time to finish it if it went to overtime. So I played a rare game of matchmaking, and 2 of the people on my team were super high. I'm like, this is just going to become more of a thing where you play around and some guy's like, I'm so high, dude. It's like, it's really not helping. Why don't you play Bejeweled? It's got, you know, big colours in there and stuff. Get some Candy Crush on the go. Why is the Counter-Strike you go to when you're blazing high?
Yeah, it's really not smart, is it?
It's like, what do you... I don't know. Someone, if you've like got mad high and then played Counter-Strike, send me a tweet and tell me what it's like. Because I would imagine surely you'd have like slower reactions or something. Right? Does that make any sense? Do you have slower reactions when you're like mad high from cannabis?
I don't know, to be honest, how it affects you playing Counter-Strike. Because I've never done...
I don't really know how it affects people.
But the thing is...
doing anything.
The thing is that your focus is going to suck. You're not going to have good focus. I mean, I guess some people... I guess maybe everyone reacts differently to various things. Some people it will help their focus. I don't know. I just don't... I just think that you're going to have focus issues.
Yeah. I don't know how that stuff works, but I can't see how it would help.
I have enough focus issues as it is.
It's funny that John Jones got done for cannabis loads of times by, you know, like drug testing in UFC.
Yeah, I think it stays in your system for like 30 days or something, right? So
I'm not like an advocate for cannabis or something, but you know, people. I know people just use it to chill, right? They're not really using it for a competitive advantage, so it kind of sucks that he got wrecked for that. But then, if you want to be an athlete, you've got to make sacrifices, right? So
yeah, it's a lot of it is not very intuitive or doesn't really make sense or correlates to where science actually is. But that's pro sports for you in many respects. So got the Glocks out for Space Station. That's actually one thing. There's a lot of pseudoscience in pro sports as well. So everyone's
what
looking.
What does pseudoscience mean for the non-speaking, English-speaking people?
Well, like stuff that's claims to improve, let's say, recovery or in performance or something like that, but it doesn't actually have any scientific basis whatsoever. Like cupping, for example. So a new thing that Michael Phelps popularized, I think. Anyway.
People like trendy stuff that can be on a glossy page in an airplane magazine, right?
Yeah.
Well, this thing is like, there's some kind of weird like flushing of blood facial thing, which is one of the newer trends in facials. I'm like, nope, I will not be doing any of that. Thank you very much.
Bosh.
Well, Space Station have got into a bomb plant situation somehow, so this is looking slightly rough so far, this game of cash, but despite planting the bomb, these players only have Glocks, no Kevlar, less than half health for Infinite. Davies not too far away, so that will be that. But that's some bonus money for Space Station, which I'm sure is much needed. Absolutely. I'll take that, why not?
Well, 4-4 scores on the doors, and Complexity, they've been having some cheeky round wins, but the buys back in for Space Station, and it's when they've had full money when they've been the most dangerous. So let's see how this goes. It's actually the eco rounds that they struggle to deal with the most so far. And that's actually 2 of the victories for Complexity have been the eco wins, only 2 like legit buy round wins. So this will be a telling round, I think. Curious to see what the approach looks like for Space Station. Obviously, initial exchange of grenades to allow the CTs to get close to mid, to the garage, and they'll go for a crossfire setup. So it's a 1-3-1 here. Typically, CT sides will leave the 1-3-1 around 1 minute mark, and Shazam, he's going to stay out there. Again, he's alone on B, and he's playing aggressively here. So it's quite early in the round, and mid has not been challenged, so Space Station do not know that B is empty. At this point, it does have Android in it now. He's rotated. And you can see Space Station waiting for the move, and here it is.
Nice correction from Odorous. Ooh, stops a duel. Riv's attention has been taken away. Moving towards B now. The final 3 players will combine. Molotovs, don't see that one deployed normally towards the default position. Does a nice job, but no one's there to capitalize on it. Moving in on his own before the other 2 players. Infinite, aware of the perhaps time pressure. Stanislaw flanking through mid now. And Davey seems to have taken that angle for granted. It's a bit slow on the cross from the headshot position. Stanislaw, the hero, coming into play. Infinite now. Speaking of heroes, MVP for his team. Avoiding the flashbang. Got himself a 1v1. Where is Stanislaw? Doesn't really have time to go for a gamble rotation towards the A bomb site, but if he can find the bomb out looking for it, at least he can get the plant down. Fake to begin. Stanislaw's found an M4. He's got a HE as well. He'll need that to do some good damage. Very good damage. Infinite in headshot position. Blind Stanislaw, and there is the round for Space Station. 4K for Infinite.
Yeah, you can just see when he's in that 1v2, you just know he's going to win it. He's just very good. It feels like whenever he gets a spot, he just delivers. Hit a really good spot, a few good spots here that he was able to play very well. Very clean from the mechanics standpoint, and that'll be another buy round won by Space Station. So this complexity buy is not looking great. Scout on Def, Deagle on Ye again. Not many grenades to speak of. Wow, he actually connected that. That is cheeky. Very good knowledge there from Odorous on the wallbangs. And Def trying to do something with his Scout, just pushing that door position. Will he find something? Yes, but Odorous finds him as well. So that's a nice situation for Space Station.
Inspecting the weapon. See what he drops. Just a Scout. No interest in that. Minute 12 for Space Station. 5 versus 3. Combine. Oh no, the Deagle's out again, and Ye's still alive. Even better. Now surely just combine the forces and take a site. Good one to learn, but improve it yourself, I hope.
Oh, Shazam, oh, this could be dangerous here. Working the headshot position, gets one, able to fall back, didn't take any damage there. Looking to the right, they're all looking to the right, but it's to the left where Stanislaw will come from, and he'll take down one as well. Giving Shazam a doable round, a 1 versus 2. The bomb needs to be planted. He has not got a kit or any grenades to speak of, so that will make things even more difficult here. At least he knows where the bomb's going, and I think he's running, and it absolutely must be heard here by Infinite. So, yeah, that's going to be a shot to the back of his head, and another round for Space Station. They are looking really good on their T-buys.
No money for complexity. For Diffuse, every round's been by Diffuse for complexity, which gives you an idea of how far Space Station are taking even rounds that they lose. Most of their wins by elimination. Once they understand what complexity have in a round such as this. Oh dear. Not really giving the Flames a chance to heat up the feet of these players. But 4v2, I think they're in a good spot now. Infinite can rotate the bomb towards A. Just as you prepare to say that. He picks up a weapon. Now they know where both players are. There's Shazam taken out, move away from the Mac 10. And round number 7's in the bag for Space Station.
So another round where Complexity need to prove that they can actually deal with these buys. The Space Station been eerily consistent, have Space Station, and pretty much everybody has been doing their job for Space Station as well. Don't really see, you know, one player having an insane game or anyone having a terrible game. It's just business as usual, and the routines being played out to a very effective level. And they're going to go for a fast play towards the door, and that's meeting in the minds perhaps. Def was looking for it as well. Perhaps they heard the stepping, decided to abort that one. Looking to take A main though. This is very dangerous stuff. We've got Grim sitting in A main. Won't expect Ye to be popping out of the smoke. Loses that battle. Does Grim. And now they just have to hold the door. They've managed to do so though. The teams will have to go back. This is a good advantage for Complexity.
Infinite looking for something in B. Again, it's a retake situation over there.
Oh no.
Odorous spotting a number of players though. Nothing towards the forklift just yet. More players are on highway. Now, Snakes may want to collect the bomb soon, but I think he's just helping his teammates secure the actual bomb site. Is Infinite. Oh no, Android's going to give the sound cue away. That is so much information. Snakes immediately going to pick up the bomb there as the cutoff from Infinite. Now, where does he choose to smoke? It's a long way back to the bomb site, and Stanislaw is moving into. I thought he might go towards the vent, but no, he is in CT. Spots Snakes crossing. No grenade for him, just walking out. And that might be the round. Shazam 1 versus 3. 2 of the 3 players of Space Station on the site already. There's a lurk smoke from Shazam to allow him to get out. The Snakes will not allow. 8-4 for Space Station. 4 rounds in a row for them.
Yeah, those 2 AWP kills from Odorous, just it's crazy, really. Complexity had the round 1, and then all of a sudden, everyone is just really afraid of the A hit because Odorous is just taking out everyone there. And then the lurk is, you know, even stronger towards B, and it just gets worse and worse for Complexity. It really feels like they've not had, you know, all that much luck. I say that, but 2 of their rounds they did win off eco, and it was moves like that that allowed for that eco, all those eco wins to actually happen. So maybe this is a repeat. We'll see. 3 Deagles out again. 1 man down. How many more will suffer the same fate?
Those bloody Deagles. Spreading across the site. Oh, he's on the light. I used to like that when Peter was on Complexity, he would AWP from on top of quad, which is a really nice off angle into main because you're never going to be pre-firing that position as somebody who's wide peeking as a T. So I like to pop there from on occasion, if I can get there fast enough. Tactical timeout from Complexity. They're on the back foot. This is not a situation they should be in. It's weird for them because Space Station are not a team you can really prepare for just yet. They've had 2 changes. Odorous and Davey are the new players of their team. They were so new before that they were hardly going to get counter-strat, but perhaps they will have a bit more fire in the engine with more experienced players at the helm. So this may catch Complexity off guard, but again, 4 of their 10 remaining matches being played today, these are 2 matches that they have to win. Complexity. A loss here would be unacceptable.
Yeah, unless they had amazing performances against the better opposition. Certainly the case. And that's kind of the annoying thing to play against Space Station right now, is that towards the end of the season, they've improved a lot. Obviously, the team has changed a lot.
But it can be harder to play against a worse team as well, because there's less, you can't play to normal expectations and things like that, so more likely to get randomed out in a particular situation. Great pop flash for Shazam. The timing is unbelievable, but the continuation spray from Infinite's even better. Odorous, oh, you just look away just as you get fragged. Android still with possession of the site. A minute 15, the smoke will allow the bomb to be collected. They can still go either way, so whether they stand here and wait or go somewhere else, Complexity will have to spread out between both sides.
It's a pretty bold position for Shazam, but he's such a good AWPer that it's, I'd like to see that. It's pretty interesting how difficult it gets once you have your numbers just worn away before you've breached a bomb site like B. It becomes so impossible to get into B at that point. So if he can always get those 2 kills, it's pretty valuable. And here comes the push, confirming information for Complexity. If they had a suspicion that the rotation was towards A, now they know for sure, and even for more sure. Now, visual confirmation, even better. As the T's move towards the squeaky door, it's hard to imagine that this will go back. Oh no, that's awkward. There was a good couple seconds. Oh, it needs to be spotted now. Okay, now things get interesting.
Def has to buy as much time as possible. 20 seconds to plant the bomb. He's tagged Davey at the very least. Surely can't be done anymore. Finished off by Stanislaw. Great use of the information. Only for a 5th round for Complexity. They have to wait to get number 6 here as well. Very important round to pick up.
It's really cool too, just the fact that Stan also just waits. Like he could have taken a shot when he saw them in the around the garage, but the fact that he waits, knowing that they're going towards the A bomb side, just make it as hard as possible for them. It's not about getting kills, it's about winning the rounds. and doing so in the best possible way, as opposed to just thinking about adding to your kill count. This is dangerous here for Odorous. A double peek comes in, he misses his shot. Maybe he won't get another chance. He will be smoked off, missing the shot through the smoke. Def with a follow-up nade to finish him off. And AWP will go back into the hands of the T's, and it's on Infinite, but as good as he is, it's very difficult, 3 versus 5 on Cash, to find an opening, to create an opening. The CTs can play even more tight than before to the bomb sites. They can force you to go very deep and commit very hard, and then your engagements become very difficult. For example, here we have both CTs playing the bomb site, and the Molotovs will do well to try to deposition them and help to understand exactly what they are playing, but Android in a beautiful off angle there against Checkers, able to catch the return frag onto Snakes. Now it's just such a desperate push, isn't it? It's not too much it feels like they can really accomplish here as they start to fall back. Also worrying about that flank. And yeah, he's done it perfectly, just holding position here. Don't need to do more than that. Complete contain.
Nice angle from Shazam. "18 seconds. Ooh, does Shazam go back? Double peek, marvelous stuff. He'll get one of them, but doesn't matter because it is the end of the half. Infinite up there as always. 15 kills from him, 16 those, slightly edged by Android. Excuse me. I would not be surprised if Infinite gets poached by... I don't know how many teams need a player, though. We saw some comments that it looked like Kirishima may be staying with Cloud9. I think that's good and bad. It's good if he fits, but it's bad because they should really be an NA team.
I actually think Infinite would be amazing in that lineup. But if they don't care about just being a strict NA team, well, Kirishima is a great choice as well. And Complexity, speaking of NA teams, looking to push and successfully doing so up to a point. Now, Snakes is making himself known, having quite a few good rounds so far. And he will do enough damage to really create some decisions here for Complexity as they decide to go for the vent boost. And he suggests a running. And now they go looking towards Highway. That was the opportunity. That was such a great play, but he had the bomb on him. So it's a difficult one for Android at this point. Glock versus USPs at distance, shoulder peeking, headshot angles. They can't really make it more difficult for him than that.
They know he's on this side, so they can continue to double peek him. You can see they've moved into position together. Great teamwork for Space Station. Is that both pistols they've won? Indeed it is. And that makes a hell of a difference. Especially when you're in the lead already. The AKs will be coming out next round. Shazam's opted for the Desert Eagle. One of the more notable players in North America for pistols is Shazam. Highly regarded by other people as quite a pistol player. Yo, is that Shazam? Apparently all our staff troll him at our events. I support this message.
He's improved so much as a player over the few years. It's
a human being.
It's really good to see, because sometimes you look at a player and you can just see that's their identity, and he managed to just keep improving. And there have been a lot of players that haven't, and you don't hear about them anymore. That's the difference. And so props to him for staying relevant and evolving with the times.
Absolutely. Never too late to evolve. One day I'll be an ARM player. What's the opposite to a wrist player?
Yeah. Yeah, just an ARM player, I would say.
5-round lead for Space Station.
Or a palm player. Palm the mouse.
That's a type of grip as opposed to... That's a different thing altogether. Did you ever have a Palm Pilot?
No, what is that?
I had a Palm Pilot. It's by Palm. It's called a Palm Pilot. It's like a digital thing, like an organizer type thing. There's a funny clip about Brian Blessed talking about Palm Pilots. He was giving one away on a game show. Palm Pilot, what the hell is that?
Brian Blessed.
I'll tell you what he also said.
Gordon's alive.
During the break. Very big grenade onto Shazam. Davey trying to spread the jam, baby. Only good for one kill though. Molotov will claim position. There's no smoke to throw into the Molotov afterwards, which you normally expect in a situation. And Def is still being annoying in Squeaky Door. As you can see, the rest of the team have rotated away from maybe. He'll keep 2 players entertained of the 4. Still here. Now 3 plays towards 8. All because of Def. In the meantime, Motorist has had a duel on the B bomb site. He's taken out Ye. The other 2 for complexity. Maybe, I don't know, going back towards the A site, but surely he saw a few players there. Seemed that whoever it was making a play into B did it on their own, instead of with the 2 teammates who rotated away from it, and now here we are.
Did you have the smoke in the Molotov? Still smoke remaining as well for Def. Nice headshot onto Snakes. Infinite. With the FAMAS, he is able to wait for his teammates, and that's what he's doing, biding his time. Got to be really careful in that forward position. That guy, very, very nice. That's such a must. Now Infinite can push forwards. Now that that guy on Fork is dead, he's going for the wrap. He spots ahead. Tap, tap. And that's the finishing blows for the FAMAS. Quick double with the FAMAS to end the round is very nice from Infinite. And you can see the patience there, you know, waiting for your teammates to help you out. They took down the Fork player. That opened him up to deal with the players on quad. Everyone's helping each other. That's what you like to see. We're a happy family. A happy space station.
Second tactical timeout from complexity. They could. Okay, they could, and they will. Dev sacrificing an AK for grenades, granates, if you are one of the Germans. Granate. I always think of that from Day of Defeat, where the German, the Axis, would shout, Granate! When they throw one of those HEs you can cook before throwing, so it goes off immediately. So it will be 2 Galils and the UMP and plenty of grenades for executes. They've got 3 Molotovs as well. Of course, 400 for the Ts, 600 for the CTs. Area control. Space station will know it's a buy now. The smoke into main as late as possible, which is pretty good. Infinite, knowing he's deterred his opponent, will casually walk into A main and get plenty of information for his team. You'll even hear the person rotating away from Squeaky Door.
Android, nice defense there. Space station trying to get aggressive. Oh, good flash. Snakes with the jump. A graceful landing and a frag with the AUG. But the return comes in. And it's strong. Doesn't look very good here for Space Station. It's a nice pickoff, but they can't really retake this bomb site. So that'll be that. Complexity winning their first buy rounds of the second half. A much needed one. It would be really cool for Space Station if they could pick up another kill. But at this point, their economy itself is somewhat weak, and that's all they can do to get a good buy-in on the following round with these guns saved. $1,400 will be awarded Space Station. Which will be charity money. You've lost a round. We feel bad for you here at $1,400. Des picked himself up the AUG.
I ate all my cough sweets yesterday, so I'm suffering today, I'm sorry. I ate the whole bag of cough sweets, and one of those like Strepsil type packs as well. All of them. So much sugar.
You can get sugar-free ones. At least in the UK, I know you can.
I know. But we're far from home, baby. It's nothing but cheap calories here, Dan.
There's got to be some sugar-free ones somewhere. You can't be getting fat off of eating cough sweets. That's just
That would be next level, wouldn't it?
That's just not. This can't happen.
Never say never. 5-round lead for Space Station. Auto shotgun on Cash. Could be used under the boost. On rotation note. Not going to be ideal. Space Station have been taking liberties in A main, and that continues. Infinite not shy as a peak. Death once again being a nuisance in the squeaky door. A highly rated player by players is Death, one that goes under the radar again. Complexity just emerging now from worse times. Really late push from Infinite, but he's not shy at all, charging through. Finally put a stop to him, and he was causing them a lot of mayhem in the rounds prior.
It's a good follow-up from a Space Station after that kill. He pushed door, he cleared it, but also at the same time they flash into A main. So now Grim is in lockers. So really strong position, because if those Ts do try to make it onto the site, even if they kill Infinite, ooh, Infinite's going to take one down on highway. They're going to try to backstab him, but surely Grim comes out. Ooh, Grim will come out. Bit late though, but still gets one. Might not be enough, even though he did critical damage to Stanislaw. He's still alive and kicking, and that's all that really counts at this point. And this 2v2 after plant with big flank from Davey on the auto shotgun. There's got to be a gun for him somewhere. You can't be using the auto shotgun. This might be the only way to make it work.
Is the door open or is the door closed? It's open.
Oh.
It's open for business. It's open for auto shotgun business. Snakes is the only one who has a kit. So if there isn't one on the side, it's going to be a problem. That's hard. That's a lot of information for Davey. Oh, he's picked up a weapon and surely given his position away, and now he's just really wasting time. The kit is gone. No, there's one on site. I really think the element of surprise there.
Yeah.
They put a molly on quad, so there's. I mean, he doesn't know if someone's fork or not. That's an issue.
Yeah.
If he knows they're both sites, he's good to go. But now complexity have won their consecutive round, and they've put Space Station into eco territory. $2,000 to $3,000. Not ideal.
Yeah, it's one of those spots you just can't really know what's best. Do I give up the element of surprise and then maybe be able to deal with fork, or do I risk it that no one's there? Oh my god, Snakes got deleted. Goodbye, sir. You've been absolutely wrecked, ruined by the grenades, the SMGs, and all manner of things.
He saw all the other plays, didn't he? No, because Davey's on B. Okay. All but one. Never say all until you see 5, and you know you've seen 5.
Lone USP. The lone USP wandering around.
Dead now, of course. The USP is dead. Davey will continue with the AEG. Triple org. Quad org. Really committing to this Space Station. I hope you know your sprays. Complexity on the cusp of double figures. Stanislaw with the MP5, worse than the MP7, but still in flavor at present. It's in season, apparently. I don't know if he picked it up from a CT or what. Android creeps through mid. Bomb not committing anywhere just yet. Yeah, he is lurking outside the B bomb site where 2 players lie in wait. So he will poke for information first.
The wait. Here comes the peek. Oh, he spots one and just baits out the peek from Grim, and Grim falls helplessly into the crosshairs of Stanislaw. What a setup. Now Infinite with the org at quad. Can he do it? He's got 30 bullets. Oh, not quite. And that's a decisive round for Complexity. They're really coming into their own on the T side of Cash. Very important. Very important indeed. As James mentioned, Complexity stand to go 8 wins for 2 losses if they win these 2 maps against the space station. And pretty much everybody has won maps against space station, so you don't want to drop against them. It's not a situation you can have happen. So what are your feelings about the Diablo announcement at BlizzCon, James?
What was it?
Well, they did a big Diablo announcement. Everyone's expecting Diablo 4. What did they get? A Diablo mobile game.
Oh, really?
Diablo for mobile.
Crikey.
And it's basically just Diablo 3.
I never
mobile.
played Diablo.
Just reskinned.
Is it worth getting? I think it's £50 on the Switch. That's a lot of money, man. I spent a lot of money on CS:GO in the last month, so.
I don't know how you could play it without a mouse, honestly. But
yeah, that's part of the reason I've held off. I don't know really if it's. I don't want to play. Like I bought Doom, thinking it was original Doom, and it was new Doom, and it's like I don't want to play this.
You bought Doom thinking it was original Doom for £50.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I don't know.
Oh my god.
I didn't manage to do that though, because I don't want to play a new. I don't want to play FPS on a bloody Switch.
Yeah.
What kind of idiot's going to do that?
There's Oh, okay. Well, let's hold our horses here for a moment. If it's creeping out now, always spotted the back of one. Flanks upon flanks here, as Davey might be opened up with an opportunity because they were a bit afraid of Infinite's position in A main. So you can see them molotoving towards the fork as well. And maybe Davey can creep up unsuspected. Indeed, that's the case. Now Infinite will come all the way back. He's still got a CZ, but it's going to be up to Android and Ye here to stop this. Smoking off highway, that will force action from Android. Surely he can't just sit there. Surely he can't just sit behind the smoke.
Depends. It seems he has a gap, so he can actually cover Ye's right-hand side. Yeah, he's still doing 180s, though. Not really believing him, maybe.
Rip. And that's it. I don't think there's anything he can do now. Oh, it's a very fast frag. Can he get there in time? Can he find the angle? 2, 1. Oh, my God. Space Station defused it. I can't believe it. The timing on that one was outrageous. So very close. A much-needed round after a period of what is it called when all the crops fail? Famine. They had famine.
Locust swarm.
There was famine. Now
too much pesticide.
The rains returns. Prosperity is with the village once again.
Village. 4 scopes for Space Station. 2 of them AWPs. A snake smoke into the molly. No. We'll merely fall back into a less than ideal situation. For short, maybe. Highway, we are in North America.
It's quite fun playing back checkers with AWP, actually. Because even if they know you're there, it's just so hard to just deal with you.
Smoke to make space for snakes. And indeed, he is back checkers.
It's so strong too because you don't feel like you can push the site with a player there, and so you have all your focus on that position. It gives the CTs all the time in the world, and they're just trying to open up with duels now. Space Station look really good for this round. That would be devastating for Complexity.
2 versus 5. He's got to do a lot, Ye. Knows where the second player is. He's got to force the 1v1. Not expecting anyone else to be here, but support flashbang. He's got to cross soon. Odorous, they won't let him. Nice shot from Shazam. He knows one is on the site. Can't see that he went to the left-hand side. Great play from Davey. Picked perfect timing to cross. And there is round number 14 for Space Station. Could it be too little too late for Complexity? They've got the money to buy, but they are running out of rounds to lose. They're only 4 bet rounds behind, though. If they took this one, it would get super weird for Space Station. You are loving the Orgs. Infinite now with 21 kills, as is Odorous on 21. 31 for Android, though. Where has that come from? But still, there is more work to do. You may have to get a 40 bomb in normal time to bring this one back.
Good pick here early in the round for Complexity. Once again, always active on the CT side Space Station. Taking lockers, and they don't even check it. Oh my god. Not even a cursory glance from Ye, and that's going to cost 2 players. And the nade damage is enormous here. Infinite goes forwards against the door with the FAMAS, and with all the smoke out, he's going to have a great and profound impact on the round because they can't deal with him at this point. He's dancing around the bomb site once again. It's a 2 versus 2, but with the health as it is, you really expect Space Station to come out on top here as Infinite repositions around quad. And they toss Nate in, trying to do what they can. It might work. The flash was perfect, but they can't find the kill. This is so labored. Eventually, Shazam gets it. Maybe a chance, but the bomb's on the ground now. Oh, man, this is so desperate. Snakes with the clutch for match point. Damn. That fight went on for so long.
It did. And Space Station win out again. 1 round away from victory on Cash. Definitely an upset. A frustrating way to start the day as well if you're Complexity, because these should be 2 auto wins for them. But it's not working out that way. And it gets worse in what could be the last round, with 2 unanswered frags from Space Station. That's the crazy thing. You could imagine that a team like Space Station would not be motivated to play as best as they can, considering they can't do anything to improve their situation anymore. But this is such crucial practice for them as they build as a team, and they have those young, hungry players as well, who may keep their motivation more than a more tried and tested team. There it is, 16-10. Space Station take the first match over Complexity, despite a 31 bomb from Android.
Yeah, it was a great game from Space Station. It was really that T side which really stood out, I think, beyond everything else. And Complexity could just never really get anything going. And it was very organized, this T side. And I think just seeing it backed up with so much individual prowess from the likes of Space Station, and the fact that they've clearly got a lot of structure to their team now compared with the early games we had at the beginning of the season. That's just really impressive, and I think quite rewarding for us to see. The Space Station teams, being capable of this.
Absolutely agree, Dan. A surprising win, but again, this is why these teams are in the league. And they qualified fair and square, and now it's time for them to build. Often, a new team in the league will be the Whipping Boys for the season, and it's whether they will sink or whether they will swim. And they've sunk, but they're starting to get back up to the surface with these final games of theirs. And those are the stats. Odorous at the top of the leaderboard there, 2,500 damage for him on the AWP. And that's a surprising loss for Complexity. The next map between these 2 teams will be Nuke. That's coming up after the break. So don't go anywhere. We will be back very shortly with Nuke.